In November 2024, Sotheby's New York witnessed one of the most unusual and talked about art sales of the decade. Maurizio Cattelan's comedian from 2019, a banana duct taped to a wall, sold for 5.2 million, which is 6.2 million with the fees added, after a swift 7-minute bidding war, making people wonder how we went from Da Vinci to this. So today it is time to look beyond the banana and discuss this comedian conundrum. The artwork first gained fame at Art Basel Miami Beach in 2019, where it was presented by Perrotin and quickly became a viral sensation. Selling 3 editions of 120 up to 150,000 US dollars each, Comedian drew attention for its audacious simplicity and humor. Cattelan described it as a sincere commentary and a reflection on what we value, a critique of the art market and its mechanisms. It was both derided as a symbol for market excess, but also praised for its absurd brilliance. As Cattelan remarked, "If I had to be at a fair, I could sell a banana like others sell paintings. I could play within the system, but with my rules." Maurizio Cattelan was born in 1960 in Padua, Italy, and currently lives and works in New York City. Over the decades, his oeuvre has ranged from hyperrealistic sculptures up to public interventions, often blurring the line between art and prank, but always in an utmost sincere and witty manner. Comedian by Cattelan is not intended as a joke. In fact, he spent over a year developing the concept for comedian, initially experimenting with versions in bronze and resin which would actually align a bit better visually with the rest of his wider oeuvre. However, these attempts all felt incomplete. "Everywhere I went, I had this banana on the wall, but I couldn't figure out how to finalize it," Cattelan explained in a phone conversation. "Then, one day, I woke up and realized the banana is meant to be a banana. And indeed, it is a banana, which became most clear when performance artist David Datuna impaled it from the wall and ate it, because he was hungry." In many ways, it is a quintessential example of his approach, deceptively simple and humorously subversive. Cattelan intentionally left its meaning open-ended, though the piece has been interpreted as a commentary on consumerism, fleeting materialism, and the art market's self-parody. As Comedian went absolutely viral, also thanks to social media, and sparked global controversy, it arguably became one of his most iconic works over the recent years. However, Cattelan does not provoke for the sake of provocation. He's aware of the controversy, but is not the goal an sich. Instead, he wants to hold up a mirror to our society. The artist says, "I actually think that reality is far more provocative than my art. I just take it. I'm always borrowing pieces, crumbs really, of everyday reality. If you think my work is provocative, it means that reality is extremely provocative, and we just don't react to it. Maybe we no longer pay attention to the way we live in the world." So Cattelan does not aim to shock you with the banana in Comedian, but he uses the everyday with his ready-made sculpture to question the everyday and the very principles leading up to the controversy, evaluating the value of his own work, of art and things in general he is questioning in the first place. Although Comedian is a very telling work for Cattelan's conceptual approach, it is not representative for the entirety of his oeuvre, of course. Visually, it is different from the other works he has created. And nor is it his most expensive work. In 2000 at Christie's in New York, the iconic artwork Him from 2000 was sold for over 17 million US dollars. The artwork is a wax figure of Hitler, kneeling and seemingly praying, in the typical mini format of Cattelan's self-portraits. A controversial work of art once more led to a mind-boggling price, but the price tag was never the goal, but only an effect. The image of Hitler is a troubling one, yet it exists in popular imagination. Cattelan aims to face this dark shadow cast upon our history, identity, and its tangible presence throughout post-war art. Cattelan states, "I wanted to destroy it myself. I changed my mind 1,000 times, every day. Hitler is pure fear. It's an image of terrible pain. It even hurts to pronounce his name. And yet, that name has conquered my memory. It lives in my head, and even it remains taboo. Hitler is everywhere, haunting the spectre of history, and yet he is unmentionable, irreproducible, wrapped in a blanket of silence." The work evokes unease, but also moral introspection. It might spark controversy, but it always demands engagement, confronting the viewer with complex cultural and historical narratives, which is a continuum throughout his entire practice and is exactly why he's so appreciated in the art world. And this engagement is an aspect one cannot forget nor ignore. Another controversial and iconic artwork by Cattelan was created a year prior. It is a wax sculpture of Pope John Paul II lying on the ground after being struck by a meteorite titled La Nona Ora from 1999, which translates to the 9th hour. The title refers to the moment Christ cried, "Why have you forsaken me?" before dying on the cross. Suffering, absurdity, science fiction, perhaps humor, and a deliberate open ending as Cattelan continuously refuses to give it a straightforward meaning. As for Cattelan, the duty is to ask questions instead. It successfully evokes numerous readings, interpretations and reflections. Some read the resilience of faith as the cross is still intact after being hit by a meteor, and others see it as a reflection on the scandals of the Catholic Church. As with Comedium, Cattelan does not remain vague over the meaning because it is all smoke and mirrors. He does so to ignite a conversation and not to end one. In Ave Maria, which translates to Hail Mary, three disembodied uniformed arms extending from a wall, performing a Roman salute, historically associated with authoritarian regimes, including the Roman Empire, but also Italian fascism and Nazi Germany. The imagery references Jacques-Louis David's The Oath of the Horatii from 1784, a neoclassical painting depicting three brothers pledging loyalty to their nation, visually represented by raised arms. The politically charged gesture confronts themes of mass violence, conformity, and the abuse of power while giving it the title of a prayer. Cattelan repurposes this gesture to critique the historical and political subordination associated with such ideologies and dogmatic thinking in general, presenting various layers of meaning beyond the controversy. And although Comedium does not have the same weight and sculptural qualities as the aforementioned iconic works by Cattelan, but when knowing Cattelan and his work, one approaches that banana from a different perspective, and so the conversation begins. The price tag does not help either. It kind of ruins it. It always does. It spoils the fun, pollutes your judgment, and in the end it has nothing to do with art, nor with the intention of the artist. Perhaps that is exactly what the artwork says. That one has to look at art for what it is, free from monetary associations and the mechanisms of the art market, if we still can. And only the sheer banality of a banana, and not a bronze sculpture of a banana, was able to do so, to see art for what it actually is, contributing to Cattelan's ingenious and characteristic rejection of the institutionalization and mystification of art. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Feel free to watch our video series on current trends in contemporary art, and the latest video discussed the gradient in abstract art next. Support us on Patreon and please consider subscribing to stay posted for more contemporary art. Bye.